What's up, guys? We're going to do a Bronco tutorial. I'm going to show you how to operate this thing. If you got a Bronco from us or if you got it from somewhere else, feel free to watch the video and I'm going to show you how to use these things properly. Alright, so we're going to start with buttons. First off, a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. I'm going to show you what a few of these mean. Alright, so let's start over here. Ford always puts their cruise control on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. This guy right here is how you start your cruise control. There's a few more things to look at right here. Right here, this vehicle is equipped with adaptive cruise control. So this, with the little lines right there, shows you that you can set your distance behind somebody. So adaptive cruise, you set your certain distance, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. 1 bar is close to the middle, 3's on the high end, and that's how far away you stay from the car in front of you. If you want to turn off your lane keeping, that's this button right here. That's what's going to keep you in the center of the lane, and it'll kind of give you a little bit of assist trying to keep you from merging from one lane to the other. If you want to let the computer know that you intend to switch lanes, all you do is hit your turn signal, and that functionality turns off until the turn signal comes out and you go to the next lane. Set your cruise. You can hit either one of these buttons, cancel or resume. Here's your volume right here. Right here, this little talking head is your sync button. That's how you use voice commands. You hit that guy right there and say, you know, call Susie May, and it's going to call Susie May. Set temperature to 81 degrees, it's going to set temperature to 81 degrees. All your sync functionality, all your voice controls starts right there. If you want to answer a phone call or hang up a phone call, that's that button right there. Pretty easy. Okay, if you're going to use your menu controls up here on your driver control screen, that is these buttons right here and back. So for instance, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little button right here and we're going to select from some functionality here. For instance, off-road, we're going to hit OK. So this is some neat stuff. It'll tell you your off-road status. Alright, this is where it's going to show you what your actual Bronco is doing and behaving. If your wheels are slipping, there's a lot of information right here. If you're doing serious off-roading and you know what your wheels are doing, it's right there. If we're going to go right here to pitch and roll, this will actually give you your angles on, you know, whether your left side you got a, you know, or a pitch forward, a back, if you have a roll, anything like that, useful for off-roading. Power distribution, okay? This will show you where your power is going to, front or rear. We're not moving right now, so there's not a lot of data here, but of course you can check your tire pressure. You can look at your gauges, whether your volts, your PSI, your temperature, all that stuff. Oil temp, battery temp, turbo boost, all right there. You can go down to settings. Whether you want kilometers, all that stuff. This is how you set it in neutral tow, right there. Preconditions not met because there's a certain procedure you have to go through in order to do that. Oil life, all that stuff. So that's how you adjust all your settings on your screen right here. Okay, pretty simple stuff. This is for presets on your radio. If you want to go from one preset to the other, that's the button right there. So that's your steering wheel. Of course, everybody knows how to honk. All right, buttons, buttons, buttons. Who's got the button? All right, these are simple. These are right here, your headlights. Simple, on, auto, your floodlights, and off. I always leave it on auto, pretty simple. Right here is your dim for your dash. Okay, so that will make your lights on the interior. These are your spotlights, exterior spotlights on your outside mirrors. Those are pretty cool. Right here, this is where your parking brake is. It's electronic parking brake. Pull it on, push it off. Very simple. You have to have your foot on the brake in order to do so. This is popping your hood. Very, very simple. So to the left side of your steering wheel, those are those buttons right there. All right, so these are what we kind of call our hero switches. This is the amazing technology that the Bronco has that is going to allow you to get anywhere you want. All right, so from left to right here, this is your stabilizer bar disconnect. This is the revolutionary technology that the Bronco has where you can actually be underway, under load, having your wheels being way articulated that you need some additional articulation. You hit your stabilizer bar disconnect and you can move on. It's really handy when you get in a situation where you didn't know you were going to be that far, I guess, off the terrain, and you can hit that button. It'll articulate more, you'll gain traction, boom, you're out of there. Front axle locking, rear axle locking, and this is your stabilitrack turning off. And of course, everybody knows that is your hazard light. So that's right there. Up here, auxiliary switches. Everybody, this is the coolest thing ever. You can, all your electronics, you can certainly be wired in here, lighting, winches, undercarriage lighting, all that stuff. Auxiliary switches, super easy to use. I always recommend having a dealer install anything. If we haven't done it for you, go to your local dealer, have them install anything you want, and they'll wire straight into these auxiliary switches, and you can turn on anything you want. So real quick, these right here are programmable for usually like a gate or a garage door. And the steps on that, you have to be actually physically at the garage door, so I can't show you how to do that, but it's in your manual. All right, goat modes. Goat modes are easy. You can change your four-wheel drive system very simply by using this dial if you have the advanced four-wheel drive. If you do not have the advanced four-wheel drive, it's a little bit simpler system. You're basically just saying 4 high, 4 low, 4 automatic. But if you have the advanced system, very, very cool. You can do the goat modes, all right? So goat modes are very simple. You're just gonna spin this dial, and you can't see it here. I'll show you in just a second, but you'll spin this to go from normal to eco mode, to slippery, to mud ruts, to sand, to Baja, to rock crawl. Okay, so those are your goat modes. And those are essentially for a really no-brainer way. What's your terrain? Well, if it's sand, put it on sand. If it's rocks, put it on rocks. If it's snow, put it on slippery. I mean, that's as easy as it can get. Now, that being said, let's say you go to rock crawling. It wants to switch to 4 low, so you have, and this being a stick shift, I'm gonna have to push in the clutch to actually shift to 4 low. Okay, but otherwise it gives you instructions on what to do. This little guy right here is your downhill descent. It's like cruise control for rock crawling. So if you're going down rocks and you want to go 3 miles an hour on a very steep decline, you hit that guy right there, whatever temperature you set it to, now you're going 3 miles an hour, and it'll adjust your braking and your throttle to keep you from going over 3 miles an hour, keep you under control on some pretty gnarly terrain. So mud ruts, sand, Baja, rock crawl, and when you reach the end, you have to actually go back. You can't go all the way around. So there's slippery, eco, and normal. Very simple. 4x4 shift in progress because I went to normal mode. Simple stuff. These are basically your normal controls. Radio controls, obviously volume, tune, seek, all that stuff. Those are simple. But right here, this is how you look at different angles of your camera. Depending on your trim, you might have a 360-degree camera, you might not, but this is, you can kind of change your view on what you're seeing of your camera, whether it be backup camera, whatever. This is your auto start stop. If you do not like auto start stop, hit that button, it'll turn it off. Parking sensors, same thing, you can turn those off if need be. If you're towing and you're backing up, you obviously don't want your sensors on, turn those off right there. Okay, air conditioning, very simple. This is a Badlands with the Lux package, so it's got automatic temperature control, dual zone. If you don't have dual zone, it'll look a little bit different, but this is simple. Turn it on, adjust your temperature. We want it, a little cool at 69, whatever. You can hit auto, whether it'll make it 69 degrees. If you want to do dual, you just simply turn that one right there. If you don't want to go dual, that'll turn it off. If you want to go manual adjustments of your actual fan, that's easy. Max AC, easy. This is heated exterior mirror, heated steering wheel, heated seats for both driver and passenger. That's your defrost. That's how you change it. Okay, now if you want to look up right here, if I'm changing what I'm doing with the car, for instance, I want to go to, where it goes, that brings it up where you change where it wants to go, or if it's on auto, it'll determine it for you. So that is your controls for your AC and radio. Very simple. So here's a look at how to use the 12-inch screen. You can see me in the reflection here, so enjoy that. But all your main selections are down at the bottom. Very simple. Audio, phone, nav, apps, all that stuff. They're pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, you know what audio is, but if you want to go to your sources, that's up there, AM, FM, Sirius XM, and if you have a Bluetooth audio pairing. Go back to your phone. Very simple. We don't have anything connected, but very simple to add phone.
Search for your vehicle.
You'll search for it on your Bluetooth, and it'll give you instructions. It's about the easiest thing you can do. Very, very simple. Nav, also very simple. You can search for waypoints. You can just hit search and say, you know, take me to Grand Canyon, take me to the Eiffel Tower, whatever. And then, of course, you have your recents and your favorites that you can program in there. You can switch your screen where it goes. We got Weezer on here. I'll turn that off. So where your audio and your screen, or you can expand that where your map, and it'll flip that back over depending on what you like. Apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, depending on what you have. When you pair by Bluetooth, it's wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so it'll do it automatically. It'll ask for your permission if you want to utilize that function. Very simple. All right. Settings. All right. So this is where you go to change things. You know, very simple stuff. I mean, you just peruse it, how you want to do wipers, lighting settings, auto high beams if you want to turn that off, if you want to turn auto lamps off, wipers, you know, a courtesy wipe functionality to on or off. You know, peruse this stuff, see if you want to mess around with these functionalities or not. A little chirp, auto unlock, stuff like that, you know, simple stuff if you want to mess around with it. All right, display, calm screen, brightness, you know, mess around that if you so choose. Vehicle hotspot is so you can actually pair devices to the car, and you can use the internet connection through the car to power your devices. That does come with a service charge for the internet usage. Valet mode, if you're parking your car and you want to turn on valet mode, it gives you a PIN that you have to re-enter, or else you cannot access any of these features. So if you're ever valeting the car, pretty cool. 911 assist, when you first pair your phone, it's going to ask you if you want to activate 911 assist. That's very important to do, because if you get in an accident and it's going to say, hey, you've been in an accident, you want us to call the cops, and if you can't respond, it's going to call the cops for you. So it's a very, very useful safety function. System updates. This is where you can set up automatic updates for over the air. You can turn those off if you so choose. Okay. Features. Zone lighting, driver assistance. This is how you can adjust your driver assistance functions. So lane keeping system. This is pretty important. Lane keeping mode. So you can do an alert, an aid, or an alert and aid. Alert is a little vibration. Aid is it will actually kind of push the steering wheel to keep you back in there, or you can do both. Intensity, you can turn it high, normal, low on how much it's going to intervene. I like it on low or off myself. Cross traffic alert, that is if you're backing out of a space, do you want it to go bing, 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 there's somebody behind you or not? These are all things that you can adjust depending on your preferences. Hill start assist, driver alert. You know, all you have to do is hit that button. It'll tell you what the functionality is, and you can make up your own mind on what you want to do it. So I suggest just going through the menu, hitting these things, having it tell you what that is, and you'll know whether you want to keep it activated or not. Okay, like cross traffic alert. I don't like it. I'm going to turn it off, but you might like it, so you're going to keep it on. Whatever you want to do. All right. So that's all your functionality down there. If you'll see, you can change how things look right here. You can select different functionality here, however you want it to be. Endless ability to customize. More than I can tell you right here. So like I said, go to your functionality. If you want to, your owner's manual is available at a touch of a button, and it probably can answer any questions better than I can.